It's brunch time in Atlantic City, and that means only one thing: Superfrico. That's right, in this video we are going to be heading to Superfrico, checking out their brunch menu, followed by their matinee show at The Hook. If you've been following the channel for a while, you actually saw that we did check out Superfrico and the show The Hook, as well as Horse Dive Bar a few months ago. Well, in this video we're going to see how the brunch menu differs and if the show is worth seeing for a second time. Let's go check it out. Superfrico, The Hook, as well as Horse Dive Bar are located just off the boardwalk in Caesar's Palace. Superfrico's brunch is served every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and feature classics like steak and eggs, crab cake benedict, and stuffed French toast, just to name a few. Superfrico's Italian-American psychedelic menu pays tribute to generations of old-world Italian cooks by filtering a treasure trove of family heirloom recipes through a modern, globally conscious lens. In other words, they take what makes Italian-American cuisine iconic, then respectfully chuck the rulebook out the window, reimagining classic dishes with the best, most mind-blowing flavors, textures, and techniques on the planet. Cocktails are all priced at $18 and feature something for everyone's taste. As a tequila drinker myself, the Midnight Rambler and Pool Boy are two of my favorites. There's also a selection of wines from Italy and California, including sparkling, white, red, and rosé. We opted to start off with a couple of espresso martinis, as they actually have a machine there that makes them. We then moved on to a nice cold glass of Pinot Grigio. Then Cody got into the beer, but I'm not really much of a beer drinker myself. Finally, we ended the meal with a couple of nice smoky mezcal old fashions, my favorite. Superfrico at The Hook will feature the most popular dishes from its Las Vegas menu, weaving in the best of Atlantic City's regional produce and influences. The brunch menu is a bit smaller than their dinner time menu, but still features some of their classics. I opted for my favorite, which is the Hackney Deviled Crab Pizza, which has their signature thick Frico crust, jumbo lump crab, chives, and tarragon. Cody and another one of our guests both opted for the Crab Cake Benedict. This features their jumbo lump crab cake, with a side of potato pancake, roasted tomato hollandaise sauce, and watercress salad. They also decided to order the thick cut bacon, which comes with 2 pieces of applewood smoked Nueski bacon served with maple reduction. And because there's always room for dessert, we ordered this lemon cake. If you're feeling extra boozy, you can order bottomless Bloody Marys or mimosas, and it's not just the drinks that'll be bottomless. Superfrico truly is a meal and a show. Food, drink, design, music, and random live performances all come together at Superfrico to create something different to the standard genres of dinner theaters and supper clubs. A visit to Superfrico is more like stepping into a story, one that's spontaneous, outrageous, and changes day after day. You can see how Superfrico is truly like no other dining room in Atlantic City. It delivers all the creativity, quality hospitality, and ridiculous fun that Spiegelworld brings to all of its venues, immersing guests in a spectacle for all the senses. With 200 seats at Superfrico, it's a smorgasbord for all the senses. Expect wall-to-wall eye candy and impromptu amusements across a series of imaginatively themed, inevitably explorable bars, lounges, and dining rooms, all with a bumpin' disco and funk soundtrack. I will say, while we enjoyed the performances and our brunch, we did find there were more live performances when we had dinner at Superfrico versus brunch. And, if I had to be picky, we also found there was more of a variety of performances during our meal when we attended Superfrico in Las Vegas versus Atlantic City. That said, the performances do a great job of entertaining you and setting you up for what you're about to experience as you venture your way into The Hook. The Hook is a 422-seat theater set inside the iconic Wonder Theater of the World at Caesars Atlantic City. The theater originally opened in 1929 as the stunning Warner Theater and became an East Coast mecca for star-studded events and entertainment. Now, almost a century later, Spiegelworld has resurrected the jewel of the boardwalk with The Hook, operating year-round. The matinee show starts at 2 p.m. on Sundays, which is perfect for right after your brunch at Superfrico. As for the show itself, The Hook is an uproariously funny, adults-only homage to Atlantic City's glorious golden age of live entertainment. Think cabaret meets circus meets comedy and sprinkle a little musical. The Hook is irresistibly sexy, provocative, and full of jaw-dropping acrobatic acts that unfold right in front of your eyes, like literally pretty much almost practically on your lap. Your host, Dick Marlin, please don't demonetize me YouTube, and his chorus line of exotic lobsters are determined to deliver a night of entertainment you'll never forget, if you're 18 and above, of course. The show has a 75-minute runtime with no intermission, so make sure you pop to the washroom before it starts. You don't want to miss a thing. If matinees aren't your thing, you can also catch the show Wednesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. or Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. Tickets start at $78, but I have seen some deals here and there, so do some Googling before you book. Both times we've seen the show, we opted for the cheapest tickets. The first time we sat beside the stage, and the second time we sat in front. There isn't a bad seat in the house, so don't stress too much about getting the best tickets. If you don't finish your drinks at Superfrico, you can bring them in with you to the hook. There is also a bar as you first walk into the theater. When we saw the show the first time, they were coming by and serving drinks throughout the show, which we took full advantage of, but they didn't come by at all during the matinee performance, so I'm not sure if drink service is only on select days. I'd suggest grabbing one on your way in just to be on the safe side. The Hook first opened in 2023, so it's still a relatively new show. We first saw it a couple of months after it opened, and I will say the show doesn't seem to have changed much since the first time we saw it. I believe one additional magic act may have been added. That said, I did see a call out from Spiegelworld looking for additional entertainers, so I would imagine they will be adding and changing acts as the show continues. I definitely think this is a good idea in order to keep it fresh. As mentioned, we have already seen this show twice, and I would absolutely go and see it again, but I do think switching things up will help get others to see the show multiple times, knowing it may be different. If you've seen other Spiegelworld shows in Las Vegas, for example, this tends to be how these shows work. Absinthe at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas has the same core hosts and acts, but will switch some of them out so you can see it multiple times without getting bored. It also likely helps to give the acts a bit of a break in between shows. Speaking of other Spiegelworld shows, The Hook definitely follows a similar format to others such as Atomic Saloon at the Venetian, Las Vegas, and Absinthe at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. You can see reviews to both of those shows on my channel. You essentially have the cross host who usually plays the owners of the establishment and features different acrobatic, burlesque, and magic acts. So if you've seen other Spiegelworld shows and enjoyed them, I would definitely recommend checking out The Hook. On the flip side to that, if you've seen The Hook and liked it, I would strongly suggest taking a trip to Las Vegas and checking out Absinthe, Atomic Saloon, as well as Disco Show when it opens in the link this July. It will also feature a dinner venue called Diner Ross, which we will be checking out and featuring on the channel later this summer. You can also find a review of Superfrico Las Vegas on my channel if you'd like to see how it compares to Atlantic City. There was a show there called Opium, which unfortunately closed the end of 2023. If you haven't seen my video from our last visit to Superfrico and The Hook, as well as Horse-Type Bar, I will leave a link to that below. If you're looking for places to stay in Atlantic City, I will also link a couple of videos for Harrah's and Tropicana reviews below. As someone who creates content for YouTube and likes sharing what I'm up to on Instagram, which if you're not following me, I'll leave my handle here for you if you'd like to give me a follow and get a sneak peek of future videos. I really like that they allowed you to take pictures and videos throughout. Obviously don't turn your flash on or do anything to distract the performers or fellow audience members, but feel free to take pictures and video to share on social media. In terms of dress code, well, there isn't one. That said, I wouldn't go looking like you just rolled out of bed. Superfrico and The Hook have a very funky vibe, and you can definitely feel that with the decor, music, and the performers. All in all, I'd say just be prepared for a fun day or night out full of good Italian-American food and drinks at Superfrico, and of course signature Spiegelworld entertainment at Atlantic City's first ever permanent residency show, The Hook. And if you have time, grab a drink at Horse-Type Bar or Cheval de Plongée after the show. Oh, and one more thing. The show is interactive, so if you're shy, I'd recommend not sitting in the front rows or too close to the stage. You might just become part of the act. Now, is this spot right for you? Superfrico is for anyone looking for brunch or dinner and a bit of entertainment. It's not quite dinner theater, but you will be entertained, and if you like Italian-American food, you'll likely enjoy your meal. Expect to pay Atlantic City boardwalk prices. As for the show, admittedly, The Hook is not for everyone. If you're easily offended or don't like dirty jokes, I would say you might want to skip it. In fact, the couple in front of us actually turned around at the end of the show to say it's not for us and left. That said, we all really enjoyed it and would absolutely see it again and again. If I've missed anything, please don't hesitate to leave any questions or comments below. It's really helpful to other travelers because they probably have the same questions as you, and it's also helpful to me because any interaction you guys have with my videos, whether you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, it all helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, I really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel as well. There's a button in the bottom corner there. It's totally free for you, and it really helps me keep delivering this free content to you. Once again, this is McDaniel Spotlight, Viva Atlantic City, and we'll see you in the next one.